From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. We are once again tracking some fog for this morning. You're taking a live look at Pasco courtesy of the Dust Devils. Unfortunately, our Tanum Ridge camera is down in Yakima, or we would show you that view, as there is obviously some pretty thick fog in the Yakima Valley for this morning. And in the lower Columbia Basin, we're seeing the same. It's not as consistent as in the Yakima Valley, but I have a feeling that this is going to continue to spread northward. And in the foothills of the Blue Mountains, we're also seeing some pretty tough visibility. So in those areas, use the low beams, take it slow. And some of this, in fact, a lot of this is going to be freezing fog this morning. So we do have a freezing fog advisory in place for the Yakima Valley, for the lower Columbia Basin, and for the Blue Foothills. That goes until 10 this morning. Speaking of freezing, yeah, most of our temperatures this morning are either at or below freezing. The only exception would be Tri-Cities, and we're already very close to freezing anyway, so a lot of us are going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning and also watch out for some of those slick spots on the roadways. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. More AM Valley and Basin and foothill fog for today and tomorrow. Mostly dry and cold for Thanksgiving Day. It looks like we're going to hang on to that weather through the weekend, but I'll tell you just how cold we're going to end up being for this Turkey Day. That's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, accounts still not in order in the city of Mabton. We're tracking the latest this morning. And overdoses on the rise across the region, how health officials say anyone can help. And it is Thanksgiving, turkey trots galore. All the details if you want to get out and run today on the way.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Riley Fitzgerald filling in for Jessica this morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's get straight into our news coverage this morning. After 11 months of spending without guidelines or oversight, the city of Mabton has finally passed a 2024 budget to legalize that spending. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us their accounts still aren't in order.
The city's finances haven't been in line for more than 2 years, a fact that's frustrated both citizens and council members, leading to meetings filled with tension and interruptions.
You're not being ready. We need to stop. We've been doing this every Tuesday, every second Tuesday. When are we going to move on, you guys?
Now, more concerns about the 2025 budget, which isn't based on spending this year or the previous 2 years.
There are a lot of discrepancies and accounting errors in the past more than 2 years that you have me, one person, trying to go through and fix.
That's why they had to go back to the 2021 budget from before Mayor Rachel Ruelas took office and adjust it for inflation to come up with the proposed budget for 2025, which created its own discrepancies, like projecting a 600% increase in cemetery revenue next year, despite a sharp decline in revenue over the past several years. The 2025 budget also showing big gaps in certain funds between how much the city spent this year and what they have budgeted for next year, including 85% less on fuel for Parks Department vehicles, 80% more on the library, and 78% more on prosecuting attorney fees.
Those numbers are based on the best estimations with the information as it sits.
Plus, lingering questions over certain expenditures, like the mayor spending $3,461 on a city credit card for mayor's supplies this year, 11 times as much as the previous 3 years combined. The mayor says that number includes paper, pens, calendars, tablets, and other supplies she purchased to share with staff. But no itemized list was presented, and only $280 is budgeted for next year.
How can we assume that 25 budget is going to be right? We can't without 24 being done right.
A budget is always an estimation. A budget is what you do ahead of time. You never know for a fact exactly how many pennies you're going to bring in.
The city is still not clear on how much it has left in federal COVID relief funds. Some council members pushing for a splash pad. But in a split vote near the end of the meeting, the council agreed to spend whatever they do have left on water issues, including a study for a pilot project to build a mini water treatment facility and a tank mixer.
We're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 7:21.
I just wanted to say I will be outside. Council members Vera Zavala and Sophia Sotelo came out to tell me that they're glad that they finally passed the 2024 budget. But after 5 months of repeated attempts, Mayor Rachel Ruelas still refuses to answer questions about the city's financial issues. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. The Kittitas County Public Health Department is issuing a warning saying the county has seen a significant increase in overdoses. At this time, health officials say it is unclear why the overdoses are on the rise again, but it could be the opioids in the region are more potent or combined with other drugs leading to the increase. We first brought you this story earlier this week with Umatilla County and Oregon also reporting a high number of overdoses. Health officials recommend people be aware of the signs and symptoms of overdose as well as carry naloxone or Narcan to help in an emergency. Also, don't be afraid to call 911. Now to a follow-up on the Slide Ranch fire, a wildfire that destroyed property in the White Swan area earlier this summer. The 2-week deadline to apply for FEMA assistance is 2 weeks away. The deadline to apply is Monday, December 16th. People affected by the Slide Ranch fire can get funding to help with home repairs, damaged vehicles, and personal property. They can also get covered for items used for ceremonial purposes. The Slide Ranch fire back in June of this year destroyed 16 homes and damaged other property, leaving some people with nothing to go back to. Before you take part in the Thanksgiving feast today, consider taking part in the 21st annual American Red Cross Run for the Red Turkey Trot. There are multiple races across the region, but the one in Kennewick starts at 9 a.m. Runners and walkers of all ages are invited down to Columbia Park to trot a 1 mile or a 5K course. Registration begins at 7:30 a.m. and it costs $30. All proceeds go to the Red Cross Home Fire Campaign, which offers resources and support for people who experience a home fire or fire education. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, exactly how many people are heading to the skies this week? It's one of the busiest travel weeks of the year. We have more coming up. And Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Good Morning Northwest will be back in just a moment.
It's been called the after-dinner dip, a food coma. No matter how you treat postprandial somnolence, you're ready for a serious sleep upgrade. During the 4-day Black Friday super sale at Denver Mattress. That's 4 days, where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Take up to $500 off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and score a $300 gift. Plus, get 60 months no interest financing and free shipping. The 4-day Black Friday super sale, only at Denver Mattress.
And Doug.
Whoa, Limu, we're in a parade! Everyone, customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Customize and save!
And then I wake up.
And you have the stream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
From creating memories to finding the perfect gift, let us make this holiday season a little easier. Right now, save up to $60 on select AS battery sets. Happy holidays from Steel.
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew, fizz. Feel better fast. No water needed. New Alka-Seltzer Plus Fizzy Chews.
Get into the holiday spirit
with a little Disney magic.
The season shines brighter than ever with performances by Elton John, 17, John Legend, and more. The Wonderful World of Disney Holiday Spectacular, Sunday on ABC.
From the Apple Valley News Now family to your family, happy Thanksgiving. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. And on this Thanksgiving morning, maybe be thankful that you're not this person. As at Oregon 204 at Tollgate, you can see it looks like someone has spun out or gotten stuck in the snow. There is still packed snow on Oregon 204. You do have to carry chains. Looks like maybe this person didn't do that, but who knows? Just keep it safe out there. Now let's take a zone-by-zone tour of the temperatures for this morning. We're in the 20s and 30s in Kittitas County. We're in the upper 20s to low 30s in the Yakima Valley. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, it's kind of the same thing. Upper 20s to low 30s. We do have, it's still in the mid-30s technically at the Pasco Airport, but I have a feeling that that number is going to drop throughout the next couple of hours. And then in the foothills of the Blues, near 30 degrees, although in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, look at Meacham this morning, all the way down to 15 degrees. All right, here's your day planner for this Thanksgiving Day. By 8 this morning, looks like there's going to be a ton of fog in the Yakima Valley, in the lower Columbia Basin, and in the Blue Foothills. Now, by lunchtime, should start to get some partial clearing of the fog in the lower Columbia Basin. And then by 4 p.m., looks like all of us should be without the fog, but still left over with partly to mostly cloudy skies. And it's going to be a cold day as these high temperatures are going to end up in the upper 30s to low 40s. Here's your travel forecast. If you do happen to travel over the next few days in Seattle, high temperature is going to be in the mid-40s. Looks like there's going to be plenty of cloud coverage. Should be mostly dry. A lot of foggy mornings in Portland as those high temperatures are going to stay in the mid-40s. And then in Spokane, we're going to struggle to make it out of the 30s over the next few days, but keeping it mostly dry. I'll have another look at today's Thanksgiving forecast in this neck of the woods coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Millions of Thanksgiving travelers have already passed through airport security checkpoints. Tuesday, the TSA screened nearly 2.7 million travelers. That's about 50,000 more travelers than the same day last year. The busiest days to fly will be today and Sunday, with more than 3 million passengers expected on each day. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, people showed up to speak to the Richland School District Board this week. They say it's not just affected those who may lose their jobs, but also the students in the district. That story is coming up.
While I'm waiting for the shredding truck to arrive, I thought I would show you some of the work I've done over the years, protecting the rights of innocent accident victims and the public safety in general. If quantity is any indication of valuable experience, I'm sure I'm at the top of the heap.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Right now, you can lease a new 2024 RAV4 for just $309 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Sometimes life is a funny way of turning sideways. Like when your kid decides they're a professional stylist the morning of picture day.
Here we go.
Or when your to-do list isn't quite done.
You went to Rite Aid, right?
Or when you're sure you packed everything you need, but you actually need one more thing.
We forgot our prescriptions.
We
got you. Are we happy?
We are happy. Find everything you need?
Yep. Yeah, life never really goes the way you plan, but that's why we're here. It means more at Rite Aid.
The Black Friday mattress event is going on now at More Furniture. Save big on premium mattresses including Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy. During the Black Friday event, save up to $800 on select premium adjustable mattress sets. For a limited time, you'll get our very best offer, 72 months interest-free financing. That's 72 equal monthly payments, absolutely no interest and no money down. Plus, we'll provide free white glove delivery and removal of your old mattress. Visit your local More Furniture today.
This Black Friday on MeTV, the Kraken open up a back-to-back series with the San Jose Sharks. Time to teach these guppies how we swim in the deep. Kraken, Sharks, pregame at noon, Friday on MeTV.
Besides the suffering being in an accident can cause, there are several business decisions that need to be made. Are you happy with the insurance company's performance? Could they be doing more? Get some answers. Ellen Brecky Law Offices emphasizes the rights of accident victims.
From the Apple Valley News Now family to your family, happy Thanksgiving. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. You can see it in the air a little bit. That cloud layer starting to descend down, and eventually I think we will see some more widespread fog starting to close in on the Tri-Cities. But right now we have essentially no visibility in Hermiston, in Walla Walla, in Sunnyside, and in Yakima. So in those areas you would want to take it slow and you would want to use the low beams. And a lot of that is freezing fog. In fact, most of it probably is we're either at or below freezing for the valleys. In the basin, pretty much all of us either at or below freezing, except for the Tri-Cities. That's the lone exception. Even in the foothills, it looks like most of us are below freezing. So pretty much all of us are going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. A little bit later today, we're going to end up being about 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. So a lot of us are going to struggle to even make it out of the 30s. And I'm thinking that the fog is likely going to dissipate into the late morning to early afternoon for most locations, although there could be a few areas that could be stuck with the fog for most of the day. And in areas where the fog does mix out, we're going to be left over with partly to mostly cloudy skies. For tonight, overnight lows dropping back down into the 20s. It looks like fog's going to return to the foothills and to the basin and to the valleys, and that will be more frozen fog. Okay, high temperatures staying about 5 to 10 degrees below average for the next 7 days. So we're going to struggle to make it to 40 degrees in the Tri-Cities over the next 7 days. Chilly stuff, pretty dry stuff too, although early indications are that maybe our pattern could turn a little bit more active by the middle of next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Foggy over the next couple days with a few breaks of sunshine, staying dry and cold staying dry and cold through at least Tuesday. In Yakima, also dealing with stubborn fog for Thursday and Friday, maybe some relief by Saturday and Sunday. Then in Ellensburg, winds picking up for Friday, then more cold and dry weather through Tuesday. In Hermiston, foggy scenes for Thursday and Friday, but hopefully less fog this weekend with more dry weather. Then in Walla Walla, also continuing with foggy conditions for the next couple days, and maybe even a flurry for the morning of Black Friday.
Thank you, Josh. Dozens of paraeducators are still in fear of losing their jobs within the Richland School District. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports how the paraeducator cuts aren't only affecting the staff.
Many people who got up to speak at the school board meeting say it is directly impacting the students. Staff members also let the board know the role paraeducators have in the classroom. A Hanford High School librarian of 18 years says without paraeducators, making sure each student gets the help they deserve isn't going to go as smoothly.
Without peers to support me, I don't know how to adequately meet the needs of the 2,000 students at my school. This is a daunting future. My peers support me so that I can support everyone else at my school, the parents, the students, the staff. That is my job. That has been my joy the last 9 years.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Nicole Pratt, a general education paraeducator at Hanford High School, says when she came across the salaries of some RSD officials, she was left with many questions. She says the budget crisis RSD is facing has a direct impact on the students, leaving her wanting answers.
I'm really getting frustrated with talking about how you care about us, and teachers and students, and then your actions are completely different than that. And this is not happening to them. It is happening to us. It is happening to the students, the teachers, because of their inability to get the finances under control. And I hate that I even know about this because it hurts my heart. These kids and my people at Hanford are my family. I have approached it like that, and all of a sudden that doesn't matter.
At this time, RC has yet to announce how many paras, along with other staff members, will no longer be working within their district due to the budget issue it's facing. Reporting in Richland, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
The school board says this change is not going to be easy and it might affect some more than others. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma will have an in-depth report on this in the coming weeks. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, a turkey terrorizing a town just before Thanksgiving. We meet the menace who some call Tom and some others call Fred. That's coming up in just a few.
During the four-day Black Friday Super Sale at Furniture Row, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings add up. Plus, get 60 months, no interest. The four-day Black Friday Super Sale, on now at Furniture Row.
1 in 3 Americans have pre-diabetes. Making simple lifestyle changes now can help reverse it. Get tips at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Diabetes Awareness Month, sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Pasco, and Hermiston. It's time to start thinking of gifts for your friends and family. Smoke City for Less has all kinds of great ideas, like favorite character bags, trays, accessories, candles, and incense. And if your loved one is hard to shop for, get them a gift card so they can get what they want. Lowest prices and the largest selection of vape mods and the best batteries, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Check them out this season. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
If your group or organization would like to receive job postings, contact our Human Resources Department, 509-735-8369 to request notices.
Apple Valley News Now open positions can be viewed on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait. Turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
This holiday season, experience the magic at Winterfest in Peanuts Park, Pasco. With music, kids' activities, vendors, and our holiday tree lighting, it's better than ever. Join us Saturday, December 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. Santa will be there too. Don't miss the Candy Cane Scavenger Hunt, December 9th through the 12th, and the free Christmas movies at Fairchild Cinemas in Pasco. December 11th and 14th, Winterfest, brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Make it a holiday to remember at Winterfest. We'll see you there.
It's the 4-day Black Friday Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Take $100 off our Doctor's Choice lineup, any size, any model. Plus, get 60 months, no interest, and free shipping. The 4-day Black Friday Super Sale, only at Denver Mattress.
From the Apple Valley News Now family to your family, happy Thanksgiving.
Welcome back. A turkey has been terrorizing a South Jersey community. Some call him Tom, but some call him Fred.
I think I'm more a Tom person. Tom Turkey.
Tom the turkey.
Yeah, come on, alliteration. But he's the talk of the town, but not for all the right reasons. The turkey has been known to run around town, stop traffic, scare people, and even chase after them. Take a look.
Within minutes of our arrival on Caulfield Avenue in Deptford, we found our subject.
I could sit on my front porch and say, "Come on, Fred, breakfast time." He'll come moseying on down the driveway.
Kim Kioki sees the turkey she calls Fred nearly every day.
Good therapy for me.
She says peanuts are his favorite and birdseed, and she says this is his typical demeanor.
He knows that I'm no threat to him. Animals can sense.
But Fred has been known to stop traffic along Clements Bridge Road.
I could be inside my house here and I can hear, and I'm like, uh-oh, Fred's in the street.
He's like the town mascot, but he does bother the cars. He pecks the sides of the cars.
And across the street at DHY Motorsports.
It literally just freaking ran after me.
Hey!
Numerous instances of the turkey causing trouble have been caught on camera.
We love him, but he's a little bit of a jerk.
Here you can see him chasing down a customer.
He pecks at your car and just goes after you. And if you run, he runs.
Also, they call him Tom over here.
I know he has a couple other names, but Tom the Turkey just seems to fit.
Some have joked about him becoming a Thanksgiving meal, something his fans don't appreciate.
When he's feeling extra frisky, a lot of people like to say, I'm going to put him on my dinner table and eat him, but we don't like talk like that.
Oh, what are your reactions?
I think he's going rogue. I think he looked up at the calendar as like, it's about that time. I gotta start ruffling some feathers here.
Yeah, that video of it chasing someone through a parking lot, I would be terrified. I'm a little scared of the geese down at Columbia Park.
Sure.
Traumatized as a child, but
I think turkeys are a little bit bigger than geese.
much scarier, but
Yeah, but yummier.
Yummier, very fitting for the holidays.
Yes.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, an update to the failed negotiations between HMIS and the Hanford Security Officer Union. Union workers locked out when they tried to go to work. We hear from the union president. Plus, the Downtown Association of Yakima is holding its Small Business Saturday event this weekend. Why the community is encouraged to shop local. We'll be right back with the next half hour right after this.
In today's Tech Bites, Google Maps is changing how you report police. The app has replaced speed traps with a police tag, letting users report any type of police activity like traffic stops or checkpoints. The update is rolling out now and should reach all users soon. Next, Mercedes-Benz is out with a new app for the Apple Watch. Drivers can monitor their car's fuel level or charge and open the doors. It comes after Honda, Ford, and Volvo released similar functions on the device. And it's that time of year. Spotify is set to release its annual personalized recaps of users' listening habits. In past years, Spotify Wrapped has been released in the days after Thanksgiving. It's become a social media sensation as people share and compare their Wrapped data. Those are your Tech Bites. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm Lionel Moise. Have a great holiday.
I'm the team mascot, and boy, am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate, save money on auto insurance, and be protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
Oh, joy. You're a baker and new mom and student. You're an Ander. National University supports the whole you, so you can focus on what matters most. National University, supporting the whole you.
1 in 3 pet parents has used their pet's name as their password.
System hacked. System hacked. System hacked.
But delicious Caesar canine cuisine is a better way to show your love.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And I'm Josh Colbert. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. It is looking a little sinister outside. Kind of feels like today's weather should have been maybe back at the end of October.
Sure. Yeah, kind of that Silent Hill,
Yes.
Stranger Things kind of vibes out there. Definitely, as we take a look right now at Toppenish, yeah, this is spooky. I wouldn't want to be out in that parking lot. At least I wouldn't want to be in that parking lot alone this morning. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at visibilities, and you can see in the valley, not much visibility. Yakima, Sunnyside, we're seeing visibilities either at 1 or less than that. Also, it looks like there's a bullseye, pretty dense fog in Hermiston and in Walla Walla. So in those areas, you would want to take it slow on the roadways, and you would want to use the low beams. And some of that could be some freezing fog, which could put a layer of ice on some of the roadways. So this freezing fog advisory in place for the Yakima Valley, the Lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills runs until 10 this morning. And speaking of how freezing it is outside, you can see pretty much all of these lows are below freezing, the only exception being Tri-Cities, and we're starting to cut it pretty close to 32 degrees. So all of us need to bundle up as you're headed out the front door, not only for this morning, but really throughout the day, as we're going to have a tough time breaching 40 degrees in the Tri-Cities. So for today, we're going to be about 5 degrees below average for Thanksgiving Day. The fog should dissipate into the late morning hours for the most part for the valleys, basin, and foothills, but I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Hanford security police officers locked out after the union fails to reach an agreement with Hanford Mission Integration Solutions. After 2 months of negotiations, they couldn't agree on a new contract. HGU Local 21 police officers couldn't report to work, so they went to work on the picket lines.
While it's always been a possibility, Chris Hall says he didn't want it to come to this.
This has never happened before, actually. Part of the process going through negotiations is we bring a proposal to the body that the company has given us. They vote on it, and in this case, it got voted down.
Hall is president of Hanford Guard Union Local 21. He says negotiations with HMIS have been going on since September, with both parties unable to come to an agreement. Hanford patrol officers are commissioned law enforcement hired by the Department of Energy. While the workers are part of a union and their contract was expiring, they had the option to organize a strike. The union took a strike authorization vote, which means they could strike if they wanted to. That vote was approved. However, Hall says they never said they were going to bring that to the table.
We did let the company know that because the question was asked, were you giving us notification that you were actually going on strike? We said no. We're just letting you know that the strike authorization passed, that they feel this passionate about these needs.
Hall says the union wanted more transparency, as well as discussions on wages and working hours. He said they've been working with contracts that were in place 70 to 80 years ago. Renee Brooks, who is communication manager for HMIS, sent Apple Valley News a statement regarding the negotiations, saying HMIS will continue to negotiate in good faith with the Hanford Guards Union beginning Monday, December 2nd, with the presence of a federal mediator. The original contract expired on November 1st and has been extended 3 times before expiring on November 27th. Ensuring the safety and security of Hanford is our #1 priority, and we will continue to ensure that national security interests are protected and that Hanford operations continue to be safe and secure while we continue to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement with the Hanford Guards Union.
Hall and other HGU Local 21 members walked the picket lines at John Dam Plaza in Richland. Hall says he's unsure what will take place going into Monday's next bargaining session. A Richland man is facing charges of driving under the influence after a head-on crash in Grant County. Authorities say 28-year-old Taras Parkochuk was driving northbound on State Route 17, 10 miles north of Moses Lake, when he crossed the center line and hit a vehicle going southbound head-on. The driver of that car, a 32-year-old man from Moses Lake, was taken to the hospital. Their condition is not yet known. Authorities say drugs or alcohol played a factor in the crash. Also in Grant County, the sheriff's office says deputies arrested a 12-year-old boy yesterday afternoon for driving a stolen car. Authorities say the boy stole his grandfather's car and headed to Moses Lake. Deputies found the car just before 10:30 Wednesday, parked on Lowry Street, but the preteen then took off, leading deputies on a chase. Authorities say deputies did a pit maneuver, which then disabled the car. The boy was taken to the Juvenile Justice Center on suspicion of felony eluding and driving a stolen vehicle. Authorities say no one was hurt. The Yakima Fire Department is investigating a deadly house fire that happened early yesterday morning. It happened on the 2200 block of South 10th Avenue before 5 a.m. Wednesday. Deputy Fire Chief Goldsmith says when firefighters got to the home, they found the home had burned itself out. However, 2 adults and 1 child were found dead. At this time, the deaths are not suspicious, but the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Authorities in northwestern Oregon are suspending the search for a missing hiker. 61-year-old Susan Lane Fournier went hiking with her 2 dogs along a mountainous trail last week. Searchers began looking for her after her employer reported she did not show up for work last Friday. Investigators say they have suspended the search based on weather conditions and the likelihood of her survival. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office is still investigating her disappearance and treating it as a missing persons case. County canvassing boards across the state of Washington have certified county-level results for the 2024 general election. Since November 5th, counties have been doing audits and verifying returns. Nearly 4 million people in the state of Washington participated in the 2024 general election with federal, state, and local races and measures. The Office of the Secretary of State will certify the statewide results on December 4th, which finalizes all state and federal results. The Downtown Association of Yakima is hosting its annual Small Business Saturday event this weekend, encouraging the community to shop local. One new business, Yakima Finds, is hosting its grand opening, but for every 5 businesses you visit and 1 purchase, you earn 1 entry into a raffle for one of several baskets featuring gifts from local shops. Plus, each business offers its own unique deals, freebies, and promotions.
A lot of people are geared towards Black Friday and shopping in big corporate areas. So this is a really good chance to shop local and support those small businesses in our town that everybody really loves.
The event goes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. For a map, list of businesses, and more details, visit downtownyakima.com. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, consumer spending is up from last year already by nearly 10%. We've got your holiday shopping rundown coming up in just a few. And a look at your day with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
From the Apple Valley News Now family to your family. Happy Thanksgiving.
This winter, escape to the mountains of Leavenworth with Beaver Valley Lodge, where fresh snow blankets the world and adventure is just outside your door. From skiing Plain Valley ski trails to peaceful snowshoe trails, the choices are endless. After a day in the snow, return to Beaver Valley Lodge to warm up by the fire, sip hot cocoa, and let your worries melt away. Book your winter getaway today at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Light up the holidays and the road at Overturf Kia. Haul the whole crew comfortably in a new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Starting at $40,160, find 8 passenger seating, advanced driver assistance systems, heated seats, and more. Plus, get 5.99% interest for 72 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
It's Mattress Depot USA's November sales event.
Meaning no money down and no interest for up to 3 years on our best-selling mattresses.
Like a queen plush Sealy mattress for just $3.99.
Or an adjustable bed for just $9.99.
Or a king-size memory foam mattress for just $7.99.
Visit our showrooms or shop online at MattressDepotUSA.com.
But hurry, our November sales event ends soon.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Welcome to Nissan. Are you interested in
test drive?
Absolutely.
There's the all-new Kicks, the new V6-powered Frontier, and the Nissan Rogue. Consumer Guide's Best Buy 10 years in a row.
Finished with all your holiday shopping?
We are now. Hurry in to the Nissan year-end sales event. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months, or get a low $299 per month lease on Rogue.
College football, SEC football.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold or Flu Fizzy Chews. Chew, fizz, feel better fast. No water needed. New Alka-Seltzer Plus Fizzy Chews.
Come
on now, who doesn't love a parade? And this morning, give thanks because the incredible parade magic and fun starts with GMA. Take it from an Eagle.
This is going to be the best Thanksgiving parade ever. Good morning, America.
Thanksgiving Day morning on GMA.
Gather your family for CMA Country Christmas.
You better watch out.
We have a sleigh load of stars performing the season's most festive songs.
Merry Christmas!
CMA Country Christmas, Tuesday on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a bit of a tour of today's forecast. We're going to start off in Kittitas County, where these highs are going to struggle to make it to 40 degrees. We should be dry for today. And the Kittitas Valley, I don't think, is going to be nearly as impacted by the fog as the Yakima Valley will be, especially the lower valley. I think some of the lower valley could be socked in with fog throughout most of the day. But I do think, in general, for the places that see fog, most of those spots should be ridded. I don't think I used that word right, but anyway, the fog should mostly be dissipated by the late morning. Anyway, in the Yakima Valley today, we're going to be stuck in the mid to upper 30s, so it's going to be a cold day. In the lower Columbia Basin, we're going to be also in the mid to upper 30s, maybe some low 40s. We'll struggle to reach 40 degrees in the Tri-Cities and Umatilla and Hermiston. Light winds across the map for today, and then a little bit warmer in the Blue Foothills, low to mid 40s, but also we're going to track the fog in the Blue Foothills. Not as much fog up in the Blue Mountains. These highs are going to be in the upper 30s to mid 40s. Okay, let's talk about the big picture. I love talking about the big picture in terms of rainfall and snowfall deficits and surpluses, but these are the biggest numbers, are reservoir levels, specifically in the Yakima Basin, because this is where we can compare this data to previous years. Our reservoir levels are in a very tough spot right now. We're 60 to 80% below where we should be for this time of the year. Now, the good news is that we are running rainfall and snowfall deficits. So, you know, into the late winter, early spring, that'll melt, that'll help out these numbers. But for right now, we're in a pretty tough spot. And I'll show you if we have any rainfall on the way over the next 7 days, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. This Friday, known as Black Friday, usually kicks off the holiday shopping season, but Americans have already been busy spending, especially online, looking to snag some big discounts. As Rena Roy reports, consumer spending is already up from last year, nearly 10%.
With the holidays right around the corner, Americans are shelling out cash and spending more money than before, according to a new report out from Adobe Analytics.
Most of that increase is coming from spending on gifts, especially gifts for family, as consumers prioritize those closest to them.
The report shows consumers have already spent $77.4 billion online in the first 24 days of the holiday season. That's up 9.6% from 2023. The National Retail Federation expects consumers to spend between 2.5% and 3.5% more than last year.
The average holiday shopper is budgeting around $900 on average. This is about $27 more than shoppers budgeted last year.
With Thanksgiving Day later this year, Americans have a week less than usual for shopping, so retailers have offered deals earlier.
This is where you have kind of the shorter holiday season. Retailers are going to look to maximize that. So I think there's going to be a lot of great opportunities for consumers.
While many have already taken advantage of some early bird deals, the biggest bargains are yet to come. Adobe saying Thanksgiving Day is set to have the best discounts for toys at 27%. Discounts for clothes are expected to peak on Cyber Monday, hitting 23% off, and electronics averaging 30% off. If you're on the market for a TV, though, Adobe says Black Friday may be your best bet, with deals coming in at around 24% off.
So far, Adobe's report shows people have spent the most on electronics. Apparel and furniture also more popular this year compared to last. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. That's coming up in your morning sprint.
You know you want a burger, so make it my Smash Jack, rated the best burger in fast food. It's even got more beef than a Big Mac. Chin up, Ronald. Maybe you'll get a participation trophy. My Smash Jack, now on sourdough. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
And Doug.
Whoa, we moved. We're in a parade.
insurance with Liberty Mutual.
Customize and save!
And then I wake up.
And you have this dream every night?
Yeah, every night.
I see.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Step into the Prosser House, where great food meets comfortable atmosphere. We invite you to relax in our cozy space. From classic dishes to chef-inspired creations, and now we're raising the bar, literally. With our newly renovated bar, we're serving up crafted cocktails, your favorite local brews, and award-winning wines. Plus, we're proud to announce that the Prosser House is your restaurant showdown champion. Special night out or just a break from cooking, experience the award-winning difference at the Prosser House.
Once, this table belonged to you. But when you decided to donate it to Goodwill, it transformed into their table, supporting before-school gatherings, cherished family dinners, and creative crafting sessions. Its impact stretches even beyond. Goodwill utilizes the proceeds from its sales to assist local individuals in overcoming employment hurdles, providing training and job placement services not only for individuals, but also for local businesses. And that's how one table can support the opportunity for everyone to create their own stories and memories. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
Owning a food truck was my dream, but my back and leg pain made every day a struggle. Then my personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store got me back in the picture.
Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm back to being the best version of myself.
Get back in the picture. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
If you think you can find another $5 breakfast meal served all day with something savory like my bacon breakfast jack and something sweet like my fluffy French toast sticks, you thought wrong. But that's okay, I'll still let you have mine. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Apple Valley News Now wishes you a very happy Thanksgiving. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal, and this view is atop our studios here in Kennewick. Doesn't look like the fog is that prevalent in this part of the Tri-Cities. At the airport in Pasco, the visibility has been reduced down to 6 statute miles, but we're seeing some very tough visibility in the Yakima Valley, in Hermiston, and Walla Walla. So in those areas, take it slow, use the low beams, and most of this is freezing fog for this morning. As you can see, most of us have temperatures that are below freezing. We're near 30 in the foothills, we're near freezing in the basin, we're either at or below freezing in the valleys. So just another good reason to take it slow out there. There could be some ice on the roadways, and also you might have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. A little bit later today, we're expecting the fog to dissipate into the late morning for the basin, for the foothills, and for the valleys, but there could be a few locations where the fog is much more stubborn and lasts deeper into the day. These highs are going to be cold today. We're going to be about 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. We're going to have a hard time warming up to 40 degrees, and when the fog does dissipate, we're not going to have that much sunshine to warm us up, as skies will range from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. Overnight lows dropping back down into the 20s. Another cold night where you'll have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. And we're going to see the return of some more freezing fog for the foothills, for the basin, and for the valleys. Okay, our high temperatures will stay at about 5 to 10 degrees below average over the next week, so pretty cold stuff. And then in terms of rainfall chances over the next 7 days, not much doing, maybe about a 10% chance of some flurries for the foothills and Cascades for Friday. It doesn't really look like we're going to get our next tangible chance of rain or snow until the middle of next week. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Foggy over the next couple days with few breaks of sunshine, staying dry and cold through at least Tuesday. Then in Yakima, also dealing with stubborn fog for Thursday and Friday, maybe some relief by Saturday and Sunday. In Ellensburg, winds picking up for Friday, then more cold and dry weather through Tuesday. In Hermiston, foggy scenes for Thursday and Friday, but hopefully less fog this weekend with more dry weather. Then in Walla Walla, also contending with foggy conditions for the next couple days, and maybe even a flurry for the morning of Black Friday.
Now, the morning sprint.
The time is 5:49. It's time to get to your morning sprint this 5 a.m. hour. First up, here's the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. Before you take part in the Thanksgiving feast today, consider taking part in the 21st annual American Red Cross Run for the Red Turkey Trot. There are multiple races across the region, but the one in Kennewick starts at 9 a.m. Runners and walkers of all ages are invited down to Columbia Park to trot 1 mile or a 5K course. Registration begins at 7:30 a.m. and it costs $30. All proceeds go to the Red Cross Home Fire Campaign, which supports resources and support for people who experience a home fire or for fire education. The Downtown Association of Yakima is hosting its annual Small Business Saturday event this weekend, encouraging the community to shop local. One new business, Yakima Finds, is hosting its grand opening, but for every 5 businesses you visit and 1 purchase, you earn 1 entry into a raffle for one of several baskets featuring gifts from local shops. Plus, each business offers its own unique deals, freebies, and promotions. The event goes from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday. For a map, list of businesses, and more details, visit downtownyakima.com. The Kittitas County Public Health Department is issuing a warning, saying the county has seen a significant increase in overdoses. At this time, health officials say it is unclear why the overdoses are on the rise again, but it could be the opioids in the population are more potent or combined with other drugs, leading to the increase. We first brought you this story earlier this week with Umatilla County in Oregon, also reporting a high number of overdoses. Health officials recommend people be aware of the signs and symptoms of overdose, as well as carry naloxone or Narcan to help in an emergency. Also, don't be afraid to call 911. The Yakima Fire Department is investigating a deadly house fire that happened early yesterday morning. It happened in the 2200 block of South 10th Avenue around 5 a.m. Deputy Fire Chief Goldsmith says when firefighters got to the home, they found the fire had burned itself out. However, 2 adults and 1 child were found dead. At this time, the deaths are not suspicious, but the cause of the fire is under investigation. County canvassing boards across the state of Washington have certified county-level results for the 2024 general election. Since November 5th, counties have been doing audits and verifying returns. Nearly 4 million people in the state of Washington participated in the 2024 general election with federal, state, and local races and measures. The Office of the Secretary of State will certify the statewide results on December 4th, which finalizes all state and federal results. In your national headlines this morning, a shocking discovery on board a Delta Airlines flight from New York to Paris. Airline authorities say a stowaway was found on the plane. TSA says the individual did not have a boarding pass. However, the person did complete security screening and bypassed 2 identity verification and boarding status stations. It's unclear how the person was able to bypass the boarding stations. The Biden administration is loaning electric vehicle manufacturer Rivian billions of dollars to restart construction on a factory in Georgia. Rivian, in a statement, says it hopes to close on the federal loan quickly. The company says its Georgia facility will eventually employ about 7,500 workers and hopes to begin producing cars in 2028. In your business headlines this morning, the FTC has launched a sweeping antitrust investigation of Microsoft. The newest investigation might be short-lived. President-elect Donald Trump is likely to replace current FTC chair when he takes office. His administration could also toss out current investigations at the agency. In your health headlines this morning, a federal rule change will allow for easier access to kidney and liver transplants for people with HIV. HHS officials say people with HIV who need those transplants can now receive organs from donors who also have the virus without having to be part of a research study. The Biden administration says the rule change should reduce wait times and expand access to organ transplants. Before 2013, the United States did not permit HIV-positive organ donations. And get this, now you can do something else while singing in the shower. Empty your bladder. According to the urology department at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, there's little risk associated with urinating while showering. However, the researchers stress people should not urinate while in baths or hot tubs because warm, stagnant water is full of fungi and bacteria. In your sports headlines, the whiskey brand he helped create is now dropping UFC fighter Conor McGregor over his sexual assault case. The parent company of Proper No. 12 says it will no longer use McGregor's name and likeness to help market the brand. The move comes after an Irish jury found McGregor liable for sexual assault. McGregor was instrumental in launching the brand, which is now one of the top-selling whiskeys in the U.S., but a number of retailers in the U.K. have already pulled the brand. McGregor denies that he choked a woman and threatened to kill her. He says he will appeal. Well, some lucky person may have a lot to be thankful for this year.
Yeah, the Mega Millions jackpot is now more than $500 million. It's the fourth time this year it's happened. No one has matched all 6 balls in more than 2 months.
And that doesn't change your chances of doing so. They're still worse than 1 in 300 million. The drawing is Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
In Maine, one man is being rewarded for the love of his favorite restaurant after accruing thousands of loyalty points. He's a huge fan of Chick-fil-A and visits a location in Bangor more than most.
And that's in Maine. So according to the owner of that specific Chick-fil-A, Craig Mason, goes most days and sometimes even multiple times a day. He loves the grilled chicken salads. Since 2017, he's used hundreds of thousands of loyalty points on his orders, over 500,000 to be exact.
Less than 200 Chick-fil-A customers have that honor. He and his wife were invited to the restaurant where they were presented with a plaque.
So I got a text from my mom and she asked, Riley, when is the Chick-fil-A opening in the Tri-Cities? We've been kind of hearing about it here and there. I emailed the Chick-fil-A media people, and they confirmed with me through email that the Kennewick location near Canal and Columbia Center Boulevard will be opening sometime in 2025. So I know that's a whole 12-month span, but they said in 2025 it'll be opening. So
that's a challenge to those of you watching right now who heard about other people accruing hundreds of thousands of Chick-fil-A points. Now it's your turn.
Exactly. If you want to be like Craig, then here's your chance.
Yes.
All right, so TikTok is rolling out changes that affect teens who use the social media app.
In the coming weeks, the company will begin restricting the use of some appearance effects for users under the age of 18. It comes after concerns were raised by teens and parents in a new study. The restrictions will apply to some effects that alter someone's appearance but may be hard to detect, like beauty filters. However, this will not apply to obvious or funny effects like animal ears.
So TikTok says it will also provide more information about how an effect will change someone's appearance if applied. The company says it already proactively lets users know when certain effects have been used. So that's a good idea. All right, up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6. Accounts still not in order in the city of Mabton. We're tracking the latest this morning. Plus, Josh, what do you have for us in the next hour?
There's fog outside, surprise. So I'll show you where a freezing fog advisory is in place for this Thanksgiving morning, and that's going to be coming up at 6.